In my hands, I have the Taylormade P790 2025 model, and because I've got the custom fit heads here, I've got the 2023 model in my hands as well. So we're going to be testing out of these two which one works the best, which one looks and feels the best, but more importantly, which one performs, if they perform any different at all. They are within reason exactly the same loft, but we have some slight difference in technology, mainly face, in the new 2025 model. We're going to be looking at how well they work from when you don't hit the middle, because remember, Taylormade is saying that the new 2025 model of the P790 has a 24% bigger sweet spot than that of the old. So we'll be looking at the heat maps to see just how good these are and how close they actually are. And if you're going to be swinging at different swing speeds, is there advantage between the old or the new P790? So at the simulator now, as you can see, we're at a hole which is quite hard to hit. We've got trees to miss. I think the green's 188 yards or so. I have got this in the KBS Tour stiff shaft, and because I've got the custom fit heads, I can just swap them over. Let's put the 2023 head down there, and then we'll go give this one a hit. Looks wise on the top line, we have a similar thickness, so basically a medium between the two, but I would say if anything, the 2025 model has got a slightly sharper top line, the chamfer on the back that you normally have on irons. When we're looking at sole thicknesses, we'd actually say that the 2025 has slightly thicker soles than that of the 2023. And of course, looking at offset, there's no difference really between these two heads. So the aim is here, over that tree, onto the green, and if we can hit the green, let the ball funnel down to the hole. Does look good down by the golf ball though, the P790s. Now I've hit that fairly well, slightly towed it fairly well. Now let's see if this goes down to the hole. Go on, off the back and funnel in. Come on. I've never done a hole in one yet. Where we get it today? Club of speed, 90.6 miles an hour, club half, slightly from the inside, face was 1 degree open. 8mm toe, 3mm low, so yeah, there was a slightly towy stripe, but not bad at all. 40 yards in the air, 50 degrees descent angle, so absolutely it's going to stop, and a carry of 177 yards. It's a player's distance iron, it's a hollow-bodied head. You can definitely tell it's hollow-bodied, even with the speed foam in there. Again, that's the whole idea of the player's distance sector, with all that hollow-bodiedness and a little bit more of a tech-inspired idea. It's for players who want a bit more distance rather than anything else. You still have to be a decent ball striker to play player's distance iron. It's working really, really well. Going 40 yards in the air, okay, I'm swinging at basically 91 miles an hour. That's the importance of doing different swing speed tests. And of course, in my full review of these 2025, I do the 70, 80 and 90 mile an hour tests, as well as the heat maps to see how it works for different golfers at different swing speeds. But works very, very well. Got very, very close to the gimme circle. That is not ideal. That is low on the face. However, we've got enough carry. Are we going to get in the gimme circle? No. Club of speed, 91.8 miles an hour, club half slightly from the inside, and face is fractionally open again, but it's only 1 degree. 6mm toe, 7mm low, that's the miss strike. I could feel it low on the face. As a consequence of that, it's gotten 37 yards in the air and 49 degrees descent angle, so it hasn't gone quite as high with a slightly lower strike, but it's worked really very, very well. 175 yards of carry, and we are very close to a pin which is tucked away behind those trees. It works really well. That was still low on the face, and so you're going to compromise a little bit of launch angle, but for that, still doing really well. One more shot, and then we're going to flick over to 2023, see if there's physically any difference in, or anything between the two, because at the moment, they feel, from my remembering what the 2023 does, basically exactly the same. Right, one last one, and then we'll flick over to the 2023 model. Oh, slightly towed it this time. Pretty darn good shot, mine, but slightly towy. Was it going to kick enough? Come on, funnel in, bit more, faster, go on. No. Club speed, 90.5 miles an hour, club half, 0.1 from the inside, very decent, very square on. And face again, fractionally open, 1 degree or so. 11mm toe, 4mm low, that's the towy strike, I can feel it. That's the good thing with these P790s, you're not losing in any way any kind of feedback from where you're hitting on the face, but it's going 176 yards of carry, 38 yards in the air basically. and 49 degrees descent angle. Stopping on any green, working very, very well. Right, let's go flick over to 2023 model. Let's go see if there's any feel differences, any kind of performance we can see into simulated differences before we have a look at the more important heat maps and how well they get on at different swing speeds. As if by magic, I'm back with the 2023 P790. I've still got the KBS Tour Stiff shaft in my hands, but because of the custom fit heads, I can flick just over the heads and leave the shaft exactly the same for apples testing. Let's go give it a hit. We are talking about half a degree loft or so of difference in loft. Again, if I can get all the loft specifications on the screen, I will do for you to critique. Let's go give it a hit and see if I can actually hit the green, get close to the pin, and see if I can actually get it in the gimme circle. This is half a degree weaker. It shouldn't make much, if any, difference of being able to get the golf ball to target. Oh, I tell you what, I take that back. 2023 sounds distinctly louder. I forgot about that. Wow, it's not until you actually, that's very close to the gimme circle, but difference in sound, definitely. Club head speed 90.6 miles an hour. Club path is basically zero, faces open by 1.1 degrees again. 4 mil toe, 5 mil low, not bad strike, can't complain. 176 yards of carry. Going 39 yards in the air, 49.9, 50 degrees descent angle, just working really, really well. But there is a definite audible difference. It wasn't until I've actually hit the 2023 straight after the 2025 that you can distinctly tell there is a difference between the two in acoustics. This is now going from the 2025 to this. This is much louder. Performance-wise, I can't tell the difference. Okay, it's one shot. I cannot tell a difference at all. It's just the audible sound that I can tell. That is it. They look basically identical. They feel different, absolutely, but with form so far, very, very similar. Absolutely, yeah. This is so much louder. Like so much louder. However, seemingly doing exactly the same thing. Go on, get in that gimme circle. Dear me, come on. Club speed 91 miles an hour. Club path is 0.0, face open by a degree or so, again. 0 mil toe, 5 mil low, slightly low on the face, but pretty good. Within a 1/4 of an inch strike, carry 177 yards. Going 39.5 yards up in the air and 50 degrees descent angle. Again, I cannot tell a difference in performance. This has got a different face on the 2025 to the 2023. Apart from the sound, absolutely, definitely different. Performance-wise, I'm struggling. And in a world where these cost serious amounts of money, it will be interesting to see what performance difference there actually is when you don't just hit 1, 2, or 3 shots. You actually hit like 50 to see what differences there really are. Because I'm struggling at the moment, because they basically do very much so the same job. Again, that's slightly low on the face. However, I'm hoping we can get a little bit closer to the gimme circle. Oh, get down the hill. No. There you go, 92.6 miles an hour club speed, 1.4 from the inside, and faces this time 0, just basically a little push 5 yards off of line. 1 mil toe, 9 mil low. I am starting to gravitate a little bit low on the face, and 9 mils is a miss. I'd class that as a miss. But 40 yards in the air, 50 degrees descent angle, working really, really well. Let's go hit one more, because I want to hit the gimme circle, and I'm addicted to hitting the gimme circle on this one, because I really like the fact that I can't see the pin from the tee shot. Right, let's see if we can cut one in to the pin. Now I might be pushing my luck there. Go on, get over. Oh, go on, get in the gimme circle. Oh, come on. Club speed 92 miles an hour, club path 0.9 across, and face is a little bit more open. That time you can see trying to get the cut going, see if I can get it in the gimme circle, of which I didn't, although I'm classing that as a win. And we're going 41 yards in the air, descent angle 51 degrees, just working very, very well. So differences in feel, yes, you can definitely tell the 2023 is louder, absolutely. It's not until I went to the 2025 to the 2023 that I realized just how much more quiet the 2025 version of the P790 is over that of the 2023 model. Let's go give this a hit all over the face. Let's go see how well this works on miss hits. Let's compare that to the new 2025 P790 because Taylormade is saying it's 24% more forgiving. Let's go see if the heat map is actually 24% bigger. This is the point where we have a look at the numbers and see if there is any difference between these two. And spoiler alert, there is none. They are basically identical. Now I'm going to put on the screen the shots that we've literally just hit, the 7 shots that we've just hit on camera. And I've got the ball data on top and club head data underneath, and I think you'd agree those two are extremely close. Now I did swing the P790 of the 2025 version half a mile an hour slower. So if you were to make up that half a mile an hour difference, you can have a look at the ball data and say that there is literally no difference, or if anything, a fraction improvement in ball speed, but it's going to be a very small amount of the new 2025 model. But the spin is identical, literally 5903, 5903. You're not going to be seeing that again in a hurry. And you've got exactly the same carry distance, 176 yards and 176 yards, but remember that is with a half a mile an hour swing speed reduction on the newer one. You've got a 2 yards difference in peak height. That's a rounding difference. That's a rounding between 39.5 and 38.4 or whatever it is, 1.1 yards or so. And so they are very, very close. And again, half a mile an hour slower on the new 2025 model, but it is so extremely close. Even in a 7-shot 4 and 3 that you saw on there, how close these are. So now this is where I normally get the tabular data out and show you how well these work at 70, 80 and 90 miles an hour. There is literally hardly any difference between these two. I'm going to be doing the differences within the self-fit tool on the website www.askgolfnut.com, where all my website members can have a look at the different tiers of what they can have access to. This is the gold tier, and for obvious reasons I have blurred out some of the information on there because it's sensitive information, but effectively the gold tier will be able to see this anyway. And this is where you can compare the flights of, you put your own information in that you can see on the screen. I've preset it to 90 miles an hour, attack angle of -2 and shaft lean of -2, but you can put your own swing dynamics in there and then compare any one of the 60 or so irons that I have on the database. And so we'll go and select the P790, the 2023 and 2025, the blue is 2023 and the yellow is 2025, and I'll select the 7 iron. You can see there is basically hardly any difference in the flights whatsoever. Let's go have a look at it though. So you've got the 2023 model, the 7 iron, going 168 yards to the 2025's 171. 3 yards difference, that is it. Now these are optimal flights. You'll have your own swing characteristic differences, let's say, but if you hit a draw or a fade, so you hit the golf ball longer or shorter or anything else, we're looking at the comparative differences between 2 sets of golf clubs. And as you can see, we've got the differences between about a yard or so in peak height. Was it 38 to no 38, but the differences in on, you can see the draw and trajectory. Again, we're talking about 38 degrees, which is the difference between 37.5 and 38.4. So even on the trace, you can see it's a very fractional difference. In rounding, you're talking about basically exactly the same, and they are exactly the same on the descent angle. No difference whatsoever. 50 degrees, that is it. So within a tiny amount, there is no real differences in performance between the 2023 and 2025 at 90 miles an hour. The faster you go, any differences between irons are magnified, and the slower you go, they get smaller. So let's go 80 miles now. Keep everything exactly the same, attack angle and shaft lean exactly the same. Let's go see what happens when you just take some speed away. The 7 iron now going 149 to 151, so the difference is now only 2 yards, that is it. We're going 29 yards in the air and 30 yards in the air, but as you can see by the trace, it's such a tiny amount. We are talking about the rounding difference again, and 46.6 against 46.5 descent angle. Again, they are identical. I would not be chopping in your old set of P790s for the new P790s on the basis of 2 yards. Let's go 70 miles now. You can see on the left hand side the table has now shrunk because the table is dynamic. It is set to golf clubs which do not produce a descent angle of 40 degrees or more, and of course as you start slowing down, unfortunately you struggle with peak height descent angle control into a green, and of course there's no point in having golf clubs on there that you can test if they're all going to go in like a ballistic missile. So the table is dynamic. But you can see between these two, at the 7 iron we're going 128 yards for the 2025 version against 128 to 126. Yeah, there's your 2 yards. nothing. That's it. We're going to 22 yards in the air and 22 yards in the air, no difference whatsoever. And we've got a descent angle of 42.3, 42. Yeah, there's no difference between these. All the differences are minor, are marginal, are tiny, and you are not really going to see any difference whatsoever for the average human. If you are a robot, you see differences, but still 2 yards is not in any way performance gain enough for me to justify a tangible benefit of you upgrading your irons. So to all important forgiveness time, where we hit it all over the face and see how good this new and old get on. Now, we've seen the heat maps before when it comes to the old one. You can see there that that's the old P790 2023 model. It does fairly decent off the toe. It's quite forgiving off the toe. You can see that green blob radiates across. Now, that map basically shows green is good, yellow is absolutely fine, orange is so-so, and red is please don't hit me there. I mean, anything red is 10% or more. Ball speed drop, you can see the percentages of how many ball speed percentage drops you get when you don't hit the middle, and of course ball speed is correlative to distance, and so the more ball speed you lose, the more distance you lose. The bigger the green blob, the better. And you can see it's good off the toe, so-so off the heel, so-so low as well, but not bad off the toe. Let's just see what happens when we have the same heat map with the 2025 model. A bit of a difference you can see there. So the heel, let's go first of all, the heel is slightly worse than that of the old 2023, it is, but the toe is just as good, if not a fraction better. But the big win, the massive win, the wowzers win is low on the face. The P790 2025, the upgrade, the benefit of having that green blob radiate that low is that you are going to be hitting the number far, far more with this new P790 when you hit low on the face than the old one. If you're going to hit the heel, guys, I've had this conversation before. I don't like people hitting the heel from a coaching perspective. I can't stand people hitting the heel because you don't have to move too far on a bad day before you hit the hosel. So generally speaking, if you can hit it low and toe, you will win all day long. And with the new P790 2025, low on the face is exceptionally good. The upgrade that you've had between the old and the new is absolutely considerable. Let's go to the radar chart where we can see all the forgiveness and all the launch parameters, etc., the differences between the two in a lovely spider chart, or whatever they're called. I just like it because it's quite easily visually understandable. And so you can see the difference between the old and new. We'll do the old one first. You've got the blue map on there. Let's go put the new one on and showcase the differences. Instantly, there you go. You can see how the red overlays on the blue. Toe, it's slightly more forgiving. You can see the difference there. It is marginal, but it's slightly better than the old. The heel, it does take a little bit of a penalty with the change in the low forgiveness, but the heel is not as forgiving on the new as the old. But again, going back to the heel, if you're going to hit the heel, please don't hit the heel because there's a hosel there. Let's just try and keep away from the heel. And so necessarily, for me at least, the heel forgiveness really isn't so much of a problem, but the low strikes. Look how much better the new P790 2025 model is of that of the old one, considerably better. And if you add the toe, add the low and minus the heel, on average, you do have a slightly better forgiving on balance iron in the 2025 over that of the 2023. But the thing for me massively is the low strikes. It has got a very, very fractionally faster face on the new one and the old, but again, that's a tiny, tiny difference. We're talking face spin rates and launch factors within reason, very, very similar to that of the old, but it is a marginal improvement, but that is it. Effectively, the difference in performance between these two is really not a lot, if nothing. I would not be upgrading your golf clubs from a P790 2023 on the basis of a couple of yards, depending on your swing speed. When it comes to feel though, wow, it is massive. It wasn't until I tested it and have hit the 2023 again. It's been a while since I've hit the P790 2023, and it wasn't until hitting them side by side where you actually go, wow, that's the difference. The P790 2023 was quite cracky, was quite like a gun going, a firecracker, that idea. And this new 4340M forged face of the P790 2025 is considerably better when it comes to feel. It is massively better. It is distinct. When it comes to performance, I wouldn't worry about it whatsoever. However, when it comes to forgiveness, wow, Taylormade, you have done a miraculous job on this new one. Absolutely, guys, if you are a P790 2023 user and you don't like how low you hit it on the face, etc., and you wish you had a better P790 that worked better off the bottom of the golf club, well, there you go. The 2025 is a huge improvement in forgiveness-wise, considering this is a player's distance iron. This is not the biggest iron in the world. It is a player's distance. It does mean that it's for players that want a bit of extra distance. These, generally speaking, are not the most forgiving irons in the categories of irons that you have. And so considering it is quite small and the technology inside, which is exactly the same but refined, Taylormade, you've done a very good job. Hope you loved the video. If you did, there's a like button down there. Go on, hit the thumbs up. YouTube likes, so do I. Down there also is a subscribe button. It's the best button of the lot because it's free and it is great for the channel if you could subscribe, so thank you. And next to that one is a bell icon. That's a notification bell. If you click that one, that will let you know next time I upload another video. So I hope you're well. We'll see you again soon.